Welcome back to Vegas Live with Ninon. As you know, our show is in Las Vegas, and what we do an awful lot is we introduce the music industry, whether it's new, whether it's old, or whatever it is, because Las Vegas is actually the capital of the music industry. I have tfox with me. tfox is a very good friend of mine. I've known him for quite some time now, and he was presented a sword, and he hasn't brought it today because he said it was too dangerous to bring because I might steal it, because I said it's my sword. Why did they give him that sword?
Well, you know, the sword is a beautiful thing, because what it is, it's called the American Liberty Sword, and it's the highest honor ever given to, matter of fact, they're calling me right now, I can tell right off the bat.
Oh, that's somebody else wants to talk to you, right? Now, the gentleman next to me, this is quite ironic, because he's trying to find his phone, he can't find his phone. So, the guy next to me is from the Fifth Dimension. Now, I don't know how many of you remember that, but I remember it very, very well. And I have LaMonte McLemore.
Yes, ma'am.
And he was part of the Fifth Dimension. I mean, you've got an incredible history behind you, because you were very, very well known all over the world. And you've even, this is a book, you just presented me with this book, and it's actually the history of the Fifth Dimensions. So the Fifth Dimensions were out there for years and years and years. First question, how did you manage to stay together as five for such a long time?
Well, we all respected each other's talent, and we all actually were very in love with each other, you know. So, and they all worked very hard, and even to this day, man, we were second only to the Beatles. People don't really know that.
Second to the Beatles. Now that's saying something. I know that, but a lot of people don't. Why don't they know that?
You know what? Even the young kids today, they come up and say, Fifth Dimension, who is that?
Who's that?
I said, well, you know the Beatles. Oh, yeah, we know the Beatles. Well, we were second to the Beatles, but we were always number two. We, you know, if they had the number one song, we had the number two song.
Number two song.
So number two, they didn't remember as much. But no, we were the first black group to ever have 2 songs of the year, Up and Away in Aquarius.
Oh, remember those songs?
Up and away in my beautiful balloon.
Oh, don't we know it? Did we just age ourselves? So in all of this, you know, keeping this group together, and I think you said the greatest word was having respect for each other and understanding each other, that you can't always be on. You know, there's times when you're a little bit low, a little bit high, or whatever the case may be, but you still kept that unity.
And do you know that the group is still together? 50 years.
50 years?
50 years.
Are you all in Vegas, or are you all over the place?
All over the place.
You're all over the place.
I had major back surgery. The only reason I'm still singing, I got a guy to replace me, because the doctor suggested I get off the road. And so I did, and I do nothing well. So, and even the guy I got to replace me is fabulous. So they're still getting standing ovations.
Oh, he can never be as good as you.
Hey, man. Well,
no. That doesn't happen.
Okay,
right, yeah, he's great too. Right. But you are who you are.
Yes,
and it was. So did you ever think, you know, when did you start the group, by the way, first?
Well, that is a long story. When you get the autobiography, I call it From Hobo Flash to the Fifth Dimension, and it's got the long story in there, but it's very interesting, because I'm the one that wasn't a singer. All I wanted to do was play baseball and be a gangster.
Well, that was very appropriate for those days,
yeah,
you know, because the gangster thing was all in there, wasn't it?
Yep.
I mean, it was all happening. So
I got some advice for your audience, because my grandmother said, you know what? Pick 3 things that you want to do in life and make them the most important things in the world. You know, first thing, you do 100%. And she knew baseball was what I really wanted to do. And I ended up playing with the Dodgers farm system for 3 years.
Really?
Right? And the second thing is put 50%, and the third, 25%. You always got something to do, and you'd never be bored. So
what advice this is. Pretty cool, isn't it?
And so I did just that, and the first one was photography, which I got signed by the Dodgers. I mean, the first one was the Dodgers, the baseball.
Yes.
The second one was photography, and I was the first black photographer to work for Harper's Bazaar, Jet and Ebony, Playboy, did everything, you know.
It seems like you've always sort of got on the top of everything. You've always got on the right balance and the right place. You didn't start here. You went right to the top. Working for Bazaar, we all know Bazaar magazine. So how did you get that job?
Well, I was a photographer first, you know, and I did some things for a fashion model, and I had a couple of black models I sent to Harper's and all, and they said, yeah, okay, good. Way back then, they're very prejudiced, and we'll call you, you know, but they never got called. So I said, you know what, I'm going to start my own media. But then one of the guys from Harper's brought some clothes and said, well, I want, you know, I heard you're a good photographer.
I want you to shoot that.
Okay, so he saw the pictures that I did, and he said, you know what, why don't you come audition, shoot something for Harper's? I said, hey, ain't no problem. But then the 50 Mentions started, and now I got to make a decision. So, the rest of the group had quit their jobs and all just to be a part of the Fifth Dimension. Right. So what are you going to do? I said, so if I hadn't started the Fifth Dimension, I'd probably still be with Harper's.
Yes, but you would still be with Harper's, but at the same time you were a #1 at Harper's. Right. So, and it's only because you reached out with not putting anything in there but your photography. Right. Of how good, so you must have been very, like you were with the Dodgers, right?
Yeah.
So you must have been very good at that. So you listened to your grandmother of saying, whatever you do, do it 100%, and that's what you did.
You know, it's funny because 100% baseball would have been first. And
yes.
When I was in the Dodgers, when I got signed, I fell out of a car and broke my arm, happened to be a pitcher. And I mean, that was just devastating. So then I fell into #2, you know, which was photography.
And then you got #3, which became #5.
Well, you're talking about pictures from Jane Kennedy to the greatest of all.
Yes.
When he said 100%, what's a blessing is his mother is still alive, and she's 105.
I was going to say, hang on a second.
Did you hear that?
Now you're in your 80s, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And your mother is still alive.
105.
105. Is that amazing?
That's amazing. I got to get her on the show.
That means he's not going nowhere without his luggage.
You said that earlier. Don't go anywhere without your luggage. Well, you're going to take all your luggage with you.
105.
Right. That's amazing.
I'm taking him with me, whatever.
You're taking.
This is my luggage, right?
Can I come with you?
No, please. I'll trade him in for a beautiful girl.
Well, you know,
you're getting traded in.
You know, no, it's great. You know, what's amazing is this, because we brought it up, because he does play baseball almost every single day.
Today.
You still do?
He played today.
Play today.
Baseball.
You know, it's funny, I just had another guest on. We were talking about keeping your brain alive,
That's
keeping
right.
things active. And the more you put into your brain as you get older, the more you do, the more you stay young. Because you keep active and you keep it. It's like a muscle up there.
You know me, I sing 47 songs, 3-hour one-man show.
When I read that, because Lynn, my director, put that up there, and I said, 47 songs in 3 hours? I can't even remember one song.
I get tired watching him.
But you know something? To each his own of their talents, and we recognize our talents.
That's right.
You recognize your talents, and you actually. I don't know how many talents or how many things you thought you could do, but you did 3 extremely well, and you became #1 of all 3 of them.
All of them were successful.
All successful.
You know, even with photography, I didn't mention yet, but I was a black photographer for Motown when they moved from Detroit to L.A. I shot Stevie Wonder's first album cover, shot the Supreme, Temptations. I mean, I know everybody, you know. So, and in fact, they asked me to take the Supremes around a day in the life of the Supreme before anybody even knew who they were.
Wow.
And so I took them shopping and got a picture.
Diana Ross is amazing.
It's in the book. And I did them out in the park in the swing and all. You see the pictures
Oh,
there.
my goodness.
But the book, most autobiographies have 10 or 12 pictures. This got 50 pictures in it.
50 Let me just put this back up again. I want people to look at this. Amazon?
Amazon.com.
Okay, let me still say Amazon.com. That's all you need to do, and look for this book. And
punch in my name.
I know my producer will probably put a cover of this up there.
That's right.
And so now the 5th Dimensions. What are you all doing now? Are you going to perform again? What is the surprise you've got for us? I'm sure we'd all love to hear them again. So.
Well, they're all still together. You know, Merle and Billy left the group years and years ago, but they're still together. Earl McCoo and Billy Davis, but they're still together, and they are fabulous. And Florence with the new guy, they're still performing.
I believe I saw the 2 of them. They were performing here in Vegas.
He just took me a couple of months ago
to see. A couple of months ago, I went
at
to see
the Orleans.
That's at the Orleans. I was there. I saw them. And what I was amazed about was the young lady. I mean,
unbelievable.
Her voice her physique,
Her physique,
everything. I mean, and her husband, right?
Yeah.
And for them to still be together and performing like it was
50
yesterday.
years. 50 years marriage this week.
50 years. Oh, congratulations.
50
From
years
Vegas
marriage.
Live with
Congratulations,
Ninon.
Marilyn.
Absolutely.
Billy.
Absolutely, Billy.
Well, you know, the other magic is that now Uncle and I are working together on something that's going to be very spectacular.
All right, let's hear about this. What are you working? Because you're very young yet, you know.
Well, I wrote a song called Rock and Roll.
Rock and roll.
And
Okay.
he's singing.
Okay.
And he did the track and everything. He did the music on his phone. I mean, I don't know.
My whole studio is right here.
Studio.
My whole studio's right here.
This is my
48
studio.
tracks right here
This is
in my studio.
That's amazing.
And I'm on nine songs now on our new album.
Okay, now are you singing in this at all, or just
No,
letting
I'm writing
T
songs
Fox?
for him.
So you're writing it,
Right,
and
yeah.
are you producing it as well?
Yeah,
You're
producer,
both
that's
I'm
correct.
producing.
So you're the writer, he's the lyrics writer, and the producer. So you haven't stopped yet.
Nope.
Are you taking a lot of the stuff that you did for the Fifth Dimensions into what you're doing, coming back and doing this?
You hear a lot of the Fifth Dimension harmonies and
That's
some
what
of
I
the
mean.
stuff.
Yes,
right,
that's
right,
I figured that you would probably bring a lot of that in, because
right.
if that was such a success, why would you not bring it in now?
Right.
Well, I couldn't have the best mentor in the world to teach me and show me and give me the direction of which way to go with certain songs. His lyrics are unbelievable.
Oh, I believe that.
And-
Now, your lyrics are obviously original.
Yes.
Well, all your songs were originals, weren't they? I
Well,
mean,
not in the
not
fifth,
all of them.
No, all different writers. Burt Bacharach, Jimmy Webb, all of them wrote
Burt
things
Bacharach.
for the Fifth Dimension.
For the
right.
Fifth, they all wrote for you.
I was the only member that wrote a song for the Fifth Dimension, and
Oh, really?
called "Love of the Singer." And Gladys Knight ended up doing it. And Frank Sinatra asked for the music, but then he died, and I never got it. He never
So
got
you
a
never
chance to
got
do
it out there.
And I'm not a songwriter. I don't know. I just wake up in the middle of the night, and this one song I want to tell you about is
Oh,
Ceasefire.
Yes, you've got a
Oh,
song there.
yes.
You were telling me about
Oh.
this one, right?
this
It's
song.
called Ceasefire.
Ceasefire.
Oh, Ceasefire.
You know what? Talking about enough violence, create violence. I mean,
Ceasefire. Okay.
You can go online too. You can go on YouTube to see
right.
the
You can go
video.
on YouTube and see this. LaMonte
McLemore.
McLemore, excuse me. LaMonte
McLemore.
McLemore.
And it's Ceasefire. So
Ceasefire.
don't forget to check this out.
And this song, I wrote it for Michael Jackson, and he died before I could get it to him. He was a very good friend of mine. But you know, remember the song "We Are the World"?
Yes, oh yes.
We are the
We are the world.
They had 40 entertainers.
Maybe I could be a singer. Maybe
Oh, yeah,
can I
you
be
got
a
a good
backup?
voice, right?
Can I be a backup
You can
singer
do
for
it.
you?
You can do it.
Do you think I can do it?
I know you can do it.
I heard it just
Do you
doing
know?
it.
Do you know? Do I have a voice? I'm getting all nervous here. Do I have a voice?
He tried.
Did you hear? We are the world. We are the children.
Oh yes, we are
All she
definitely
needs
the children.
is a tan and an afro, and she'll be all right.
Well, the ton I can go get outside, and the afro I can go and buy some.
right.
Here we come, baby.
Yeah, right on.
Here we come. Ninon is right on there.
Well, you know, out of all these, he has two. Is another one. I don't know if he
What's
has.
this one?
That one there. That one's. What is that?
If I
one?
could
It
fly.
If I could fly.
Oh,
Right.
if I could fly. This
And
is
I don't have the
beautiful.
one. He did graphics on two of the songs that I wrote. One
One
called Fanny Fine.
Fanny Fine.
You know, Brick. If you remember Brick House by the Commodores.
Oh
See the
yes,
Brick
yes,
House?
of course, yes.
Fanny Fine make Brick House look like a shed.
I
Put life back into the dead.
love that.
No,
I
wait till you
love
hear
that.
that song, man.
I love
Oh,
it.
my
Do you know what I
goodness.
love about you, Lamont? Is that you still got that spirit, you still got that go ahead, you still got that energy and
Thank you.
everything, and you really enjoy it. And are you getting more songs? Are you writing more songs? And
Oh yes.
yes. Now, when you wake up at sort of 2 or 3 in the morning, do you have a pad next to you and a pen that you can write all this stuff down?
But this song, Ceasefire, like I said, I'm not really a songwriter, and I just woke up in the middle of the night, man, and just started writing. My wife said, "Where you going?" I said, "I don't know." My hand just started writing this song, and so I got tired. I was going back to bed, and the voice came as clear as day. Said, "Get your butt back up! You ain't finished yet." To him, so I got.
And you
I kept
listened,
on- I listened
and you did
finished
it.
this song, and Ceasefire. Wait till you see the video. I found all the atrocities all over the world and put it to the song that I wrote. And man, people call, and now the United Nations has called me 3 times, and they're going to use it as a theme song.
So it's going worldwide, or it has gone worldwide.
Right.
Ceasefire. Now, ceasefire, you know, you look at those words, ceasefire means stop the fighting, stop the guns, stop the war, stop being angry with each other, stop all this.
Stop.
And let's just be peaceful and let's just say, hello, how are you, to people. Acknowledge other people in a nice way.
That's right.
Don't open the door and let it slam in somebody else's face.
And this is Fanny Fine. That's my creative graphic.
This is Fanny Fine.
She's right here. Okay, Fanny Fine. She's right here. I don't know if you can.
Fanny Fine is right here, but I'm going to do this.
I don't know if you can do that.
I don't know if I can, but I'll tell you one thing. You're going to send this over to Steve, to the producer.
I'll send it over to you, because that's one of the things.
He'll put that up.
And then he has one right now. It's called First Step.
tfox, I need to ask you a question.
Yes,
Very
I have something to tell you.
Question.
What?
Yeah, and I want to hear all this. You always mixed yourself around people and things that are going to materialize and that they're going to sort of come always in the entertainment business, but they're going to flourish.
Amen.
And you put 100% of your effort into it. But I've also noticed you put 100% in it, but the other people aren't really 100% sort of in it with you. That never gets you down.
No.
Why? Why? Because
well,
you keep...
First of all, because I have the passion, the faith, and the patience, and I think that's what takes more than anything.
So that's two good things.
I love what I do. So
Yes.
I know whatever I'm going to do is going to work.
Yes.
There's people around me. That's why I got someone here now that's solid, that I know.
Well, he's very solid, and we all know,
And,
yes. LaMonte is, but you're to your word.
And, like, for instance, the sword situation, the blessing of that is it made me goodwill ambassador to the armed forces, which you were there at that event.
Yes, I was.
I sung I Believe I Can Fly, and I floated.
And he did. He actually did, because he had this magician there. And then he put his arms underneath him like this, and he was floating.
I was floating. And
don't
see,
get me up there.
And see, believing in lifting yourself up and never letting nothing bring you down. That's what's important in my life.
Well, that's what most people do. They listen to the
there's always negative out there, and the negative is always bringing us down. But you can't live with that.
No,
if you live with that, I look at it like this. If you look around here, there's a lot of plants. Yes. And it's like a seed that's born inside of you. Yes. You can either let that seed die or let that seed grow.
Or keep watering it.
And what keeps watering is people like you guys who are watering it with me.
Yeah. So
coming up this Thursday, I will be singing the national anthem at the Aviators Baseball Stadium, singing the Star Spangled Banner with, hopefully the mayor's going to be out there. Lamont's going to stand right by side with me.
And hopefully I'll be there with you.
And hopefully you'll be right there with me. If you want to go, we're going to work that out.
I would love to be with
I've never been to a baseball game since I was 8 years old. And I know he loves baseball, so I wanted him there with me.
So this is... See,
is that amazing?
See,
what goes around comes around.
So I wanted to tell him something about singing the national anthem, because the Fifth Dimension has done it for baseball, basketball, all the sports, football. And as a group, you're singing old say, can you see, and man, you got to listen to each other, because the echo will come back, man, old say. And, oh man, look here, you've been a world of trouble, man. You got to get that, just sing what you're doing.
Just don't listen to that, but keep singing what you're singing. Otherwise,
to each other.
You're right, because that could distract you.
Oh yeah.
The echo.
Oh man.
The echo that goes around.
As the twilight's last gleaming, who brought stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the rampart we held was so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the stars bursting in air, rain proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave? The brave. So, thank you very much.
But hang in a second. We just went through July 4th.
We just went through July 4th.
And so this is so appropriate.
So I'll be singing this national anthem.
Steve, you've got to get this up immediately.
But it's going to be a fabulous night, and it's at 7 o'clock on Thursday.
On this coming Thursday?
This coming Thursday.
Oh.
And so I'm just trying to lock it down because I'm probably going to do it in a different key. So I'm going to try to figure this out.
Figure the key you want to do it in.
Yes.
You've got the greatest guy here in the world.
Oh, man, I couldn't ask for anything else.
Well, you know what? Only time I learned this is when I had to sing it, because I didn't learn it in school, but I had to learn the words, so that's the only time I learned.
Well, I think mine was totally different, because mine was God Save That Gracious
And then
Queen.
right after I'm done with that,
Yes.
I'm heading to, you ready for this? Richmond, Virginia, to open up a new casino called Rosie's Casino in Richmond, Virginia, which is owned by the Downs Corporation. But Dennis Gomes, who was the owner of the Tropicana, was my mentor, and his son now, as he passed away, is now one of the ones that's running this. His name is Aaron Gomes. And thank you, Aaron, for inviting me. He always said, when we got a hotel, I want you to open it up. And now here I am opening a casino.
And here you are opening up a casino.
Next week. I'm flying out next week.
This is what you call, if you do the right things in life, you do get you do get them back, don't you?
It answers your question of what you asked.
It's funny, I was talking to a young lady this morning, actually my talent director, and I was saying to her, you know, if you say the truth and you do the truth and you believe in what you're doing, you cannot go wrong.
You can't.
You mustn't lie, you mustn't cheat, because you're only cheating to yourself, aren't you?
Right.
And if you do it the right way.
Honest to yourself.
What was, because this is going to be a very difficult question for you to answer, but what has been the greatest time of your life that you can think of, wow, you know, I've reached where I want to reach, I've got, you know, something that was really incredible? There's probably many of them, but...
the Fifth Dimension has done so many incredible things. I have been just totally blessed with a mother that's 105 years old.
See?
105.
Nothing to do with money, nothing to do with anything, but his mother.
Right, and her mother was a Cherokee Indian that gave me all these philosophies about life. You know, pick three things was coming from her. You know,
really?
I came out. I wanted to play ball so bad, and I ended up. I did everything to buy this Marty Marion shortstop glove. And so when I got it, I was talking to the community.
Yes.
So I went knocking on all the doors. All the friends, the ball players, let's go play ball. Man, it's a monsoon out there, you know.
Doesn't matter.
You can't. To me, it didn't matter. I didn't even pay no attention. So when I got home, that's when my grandmother said, "Well, look at that face. What's wrong with you?" I said, "I'm just bored." She said, "Let me tell you something about boredom." So,
here we go. Here we go. I'm not allowed to be bored.
If you ever trace the path of boredom, it'll always lead back to you.
Yes.
Wow. And you're only bored because you want to be. I said, "Why would I want to be?" She said, "Think about it. When you don't want to be bored, you're going to quit being bored."
Well, then you're going to go and do something.
So that's why she told me pick three things in life. And so
you've always got one to fall back on, or you always got one to think about, or one to do, so you can never be bored.
Right.
See, I'm like you. I'm never bored because I've got so much stuff to do.
Yeah.
That, you know, I really need more help.
Her energy is like that all the time, and I'm loving it. Is it wonderful? I feel like that's how we fell in love with each other when we first got out of the show.
Because of it's kind of this energy thing.
That's
because
right.
when you have people that are thinking the same way as you're thinking, it's so much easier because they understand you.
That's right.
And when you've got people, you sort of look at them, they're sitting there doing nothing, and you think, you know, why are you sitting there doing nothing? I mean, you know, I can mention a couple of people.
They're
bored.
They're boring.
No, but they're boring.
Boring.
And they become boring to you.
To you. That's right.
Yes. And I happen to have a situation, and they just sit there. And then I feel guilty when I'm working and doing stuff, but I can't stop it because if I stop, I'm stopping everything, and then it gets all too much, and then I've got to catch up.
That's right.
Let me tell you one last thing about my grandmother.
Oh, I love this about grandma.
First was baseball. So, okay, what's second? I said, well, photography. What's the third thing? So, I don't know. She said, you think about it, you tell me one. So I forgot all about it. About a month later, boy, what's that third thing? Oh, shit. Singing. I was lying because I didn't know nothing about no singing. You know, I mean, that was the last.
But why did you know it was there? You knew it was there somewhere.
You know what? The guys on the street corner was down there harmonizing, and I just happened to stand there watching them and said, "Lamont, come here. We need somebody to sing bass." I said, "I don't want to sing. Come on, all you got to do is bop, bop, bop." And all the girls were talking about, "Yeah, come on, Lamont." They were pushing me. So we started singing and it sounded pretty good, and the girls all, "Hey, So I told my grandmother, I said,
I know the third thing.
Singing is the third thing, and it turned out to be number one.
Which was his dream, and get this, like your mama, what did she say to you about the dream? You said something about you have a dream and you go to sleep.
Yeah,
How's that go?
Right. My grandmother.
Grandma said
I love this grandma bit.
You got to read the book because I got
I'm
a lot
gonna
of quotes,
definitely read this.
quotes in there from her.
Oh, I love that because I love my grandmothers too.
We were so poor, man. We had a number 2 tub hanging on the back porch, outdoor toilet and all. And I see all
Look at the nitty gritty of this. These are the fifth dimensions here you're talking about.
I come home with these books I found, pictures of Paris and Egypt and all of that. And I said, Grandmother, look at here. I said, I wish I could go to these places, but I knew I'd never get a chance to. We're just too poor, She said, you know what? Stand up. So I stood up. So I said, take a step. So I took a step. She said, now what? She said, now you're one step closer.
Ooh.
And that's the name of the song.
Did you
That's the name of the new album.
Take a step, one step closer.
One step closer.
And she said, there's only...
And that's a great saying too.
Closer.
It's taking that first step.
Yep. And she said, there's only 2 steps that's important. That's the first and the last. And everything you do in between is up to you.
Well, I've got one of the greatest things that I says we are born all wrinkled up,
Isn't that great?
and then we die all wrinkled up.
Right.
And it's what you do in between.
That's right.
So make sure.
Stay unwrinkled.
Stay unwrinkled in
Yeah, well, I
between.
talked to my dermatologist and my plastic surgeon about that. That's his problem.
Okay.
Take care of it all.
But what was it about the dream? She said something about if you believe in
I woke up and said, Grandma, I had this dream. Grandmother again.
Yes.
I said, I dreamed I was going to be famous one day. And she said, you know what, son? It's okay to dream, but when you wake up, you got to get up off your ass. Go back to bed, ain't nothing going to
make the dream come true.
And make the dream
go back to
come
bed,
true.
ain't nothing going to
So
happen.
you never really thought that any of this would be happening to you. But then I don't even think you thought that when you were with the Dodgers that would happen. I don't think when you did the photography it would happen. I don't think when you went into the fifth dimension you ever thought what would happen. But I think deep down you kind of believed
Passion, faith, and patience.
In the best.
That's
and
right.
I think what you did with your grandmothers and mother and everything, I think you felt that I've got to put my best foot into all this.
Now, the story about the fifth dimension, well, I knew Marilyn and I were more or less dating because I was a photographer. She was one of my models back then. And so I had asked her to come in to join the group, and Florence was also modeling for me. And they both were in the beauty pageant, Miss Black America, and they both won the talent part.
Oh, wow.
So Florence won the talent singing, and Marilyn did too. So, and I knew Billy from St. Louis, who's a singer,
yes,
and R&B singer, and Marilyn and sang pop, and Marilyn sang jazz, Ron sang opera. Now, he's #2 opera singer in St. Louis,
Wow.
So, and I saw all this talent, man. He was walking around, didn't know what to do. I said, you know what? I got these guys that can sing. Would y'all like to be a part of a group? We don't want to be in no group. I said, well, I know that I'm shooting for Motown, and I know when they have auditions and all, so I can pull you all in.
I can bring you in there
first, So, okay, so we got together, so we just harmonized. I said, oh, I can't sing. So I got this guy, a piano player. I said, man, you got to teach me. They tell me the song, gave me the words and all. So I went in the basement, and he would plink, 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 for me to learn the song. So when I came back to rehearsal, I'd have my part.
Yes.
And the guy said, you sure you want to sing? I said, I'm paying you, ain't I? And I go back to rehearsal, and I have my part,
and then that built up from there, and evolved from there, and
I learned how to sing.
Turned to be the dawning of the age of Aquarius.
Now, how long have you been married to your wife?
25 years.
25 years. This is your first wife or second wife?
First wife.
First wife. So you never got married to a little older?
No, I only got it right.
You wanted to get it right the first time, so you hung around and you got it right.
I got it right, very
amazing.
right this time.
Do you have any children?
I have one daughter.
Oh, how wonderful.
And she got 3 grandkids.
Oh, wonderful. So you have a family and everything.
One of the daughters kind of look like you, man. She's really pretty, man.
Oh, I like that. Looks like me. She's pretty.
And you ain't sent no money.
There you go. There you go. If there's anything in your life of what you've done, what would you like to have changed, if anything?
You know what? I can't really think of anything. I've just been so blessed. I'm just let it take its course.
Take its course. What about you?
It's funny. I just wrote a song called "Blessed," as he said that, and that's one of the songs that's on my new album. And what would I change? I think every step of the way is a learning experience, be it good, be it bad, because when it's bad, it can't do nothing but turn into the good, long as you don't give up. So to me, I wouldn't change anything because I've been blessed with my mom singing with Sarah Vaughan and Billy Eckstine. I've been blessed with being around the Motown era.
See, now he drops out these names about his mom. I didn't even know that your mother sang. I didn't know
yeah,
your mother sang.
My mom was his best friend. That's how.
Really?
That's why I call him uncle.
Oh, I see.
It's because they were
there's
friends.
all this connection goes
This
on.
was
We don't
family.
really know about it, but it's a family.
It's a
funny
family.
how the music industry really stays together because they're in sync with their message.
She was a jazz artist.
She was a jazz
And
artist.
a beautiful voice. I mean, and she was my manager, my agent, and I was a child star. So I haven't done nothing but this since I was probably 6, 7 years old.
She's the reason that I met him. She invited me to the show. I said,
Isn't
my son
that
can sing. I
amazing?
told you can sing.
Can I sing?
We've been,
Yeah, can you sing?
and
You
we've been
should see
friends
him.
ever since. I mean,
Where are you appearing now? Anywhere? Apart
Actually,
from what you're doing?
2 things what we've been doing, and this is my gift to you. This is a new CD that I just finished.
Okay.
It's called Time for Love. So when that time comes, you just put this on, and it's a 45. And this is for you.
Thank you
I'm in the
so much.
studio right now
Lovely.
with 3 different albums.
Yes.
LaMonte's and my album we're
Yes.
working on right now.
Yes.
And then 2 that I'm doing, and I wrote 10 originals actually now.
Yes.
So I want to get that done. So I call it right now, I'm in the foxhole. And
He's
then
in the
starting
foxhole.
next week, I open
tfox.
up at Rosie's Casino in
yes.
Richmond, Virginia. So that's
Oh,
what I'll be
wonderful.
doing.
And how long will you be in Virginia?
We're gonna do 2 weeks at a time, probably once a month. Fly there, fly back,
Yes,
you know,
okay, yes,
that
okay,
kind of thing.
yeah.
There's
Because they'll be away too long. He's going to miss you.
no, I can't leave, but
that's
so
right.
long here. We
No,
we
no.
got too much to do. So
Hey, you ain't lying there. A whole lot of stuff.
so
to
that's
do
what's
there.
next, you know. So again, thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, which is all amazing.
I love her, man.
Isn't she great? Isn't she great?
The personality.
Lamont is absolutely amazing. It's been my privilege to Fifth Dimensions. Can you imagine that?
Wow.
I can't. I mean, because you were so prominent out there, and I did not know that you were number 2 behind the Beatles. That is something I don't
That's
think
big.
a lot of people knew, but that's how big you were. How many years were you all together? Quite a long time.
Still together, 50 years.
50
this year.
years.
50
they still-
years.
But how long is it since you've all sung together?
I retired about 8 or 9 years ago.
8 or 9. So it's about 9 years since you've all sort of been
Right,
together. Is there any possibility of you all coming together
Well,
again?
we did. We had a reunion tour already, and then Ron, the big guy, died, and so they still said, "Well, we still want a reunion. That's not a reunion tour for us, for
No.
him." And we wanted the original 5, so
So
that probably won't happen.
That probably won't happen because they want to stick to their guns of the 5 dimensions, the 5th dimensions, and you know, it's just amazing
well,
what
there's
you've done.
the other side of the 5th dimensions, which is let's see, there's Marilyn McCoo and
Billy Davis.
yeah, Billy Davis,
Billy
which is that
Davis,
side.
yes.
Then there's
Florence.
Florence has her side of the 5th dimensions, keeping it going.
Yes.
We love you, Florence.
Right.
and you know, and this man right here, just relaxing and writing his
But now
music
he's
and
doing
writing
something
his
else.
books,
And
and now a
because-
movie too.
And also because of tfox, this is all coming back out again.
Wow.
So now you can't retire. They'll
No,
come
no.
right back out again because you're putting your stuff out there and you're able
And I'm
to
waking
sort of,
him up with some brand new stuff.
Yeah, well, he
Oh,
seems to be
yeah.
waking himself up and writing songs.
yeah.
He's waking
We
him-
got some good stuff,
You've got
don't
some
we?
good
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
As a performer, as everything you've done, what would you like to say to the younger generation to help them along their way?
I'm glad you asked that question because success is not promised to anybody. You know, stay in school, get your education, because a fool and his money soon parts. So learn what to do with your money after you make it, okay? Stay in school.
Stay in school.
Stay in school.
Well, thank you, tfox,
What a
for bringing this
pleasure.
Lamont
man,
with
it's,
her.
it's,
It's
it's,
been
it's
amazing.
an honor. It's an honor.
This is an honor.
It's always an honor to see you.
It's an honor for all of
Yeah.
us.
All right. Well,
Next time I'm gonna bring the sword again.
It's really mine.
It's hers. It's hers.
and we don't make friends we don't intend to keep, so now she's stuck.
I'm stuck. I got a friend. I love it. I love
Can
it.
we leave with a joke? He
Yes.
gives the greatest jokes
Oh
in
yeah,
the world.
we can definitely leave with a joke.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, that's another thing people don't know. I used to write jokes for Richard Pryor and Red Fox.
Richard Pryor, I knew Richard Pryor
Yeah,
because I used to go to the racetrack at Santa Anita, and Richard
Exactly.
Pryor would be there. Or Richard Pryor loved to gamble, and he was there all the time. And I was there with my husband, and we used to,
We
absolutely.
lived in Encino together.
Huh?
He lived in Encino.
Yeah,
we lived
that's
right
right.
down the street
Well,
from
we lived up on Mulholland Drive, or Bel Air, one of the others.
yeah,
We
that's
were
where I
there.
lived.
Yes, we had a
So
beautiful
what can you
house in
send
Bel
us
Air.
home with
Well,
gonna be?
a nice joke. He's
She
laughing
said, you know,
because
she
he
said
doesn't
a
even.
nice joke.
Well, no, I don't mind if it's clean or not
No,
clean.
right,
You're old enough to be able to say anything you
But
want.
you know what? I have a joke book out called Everybody Loves a Good Dirty Joke, and it's got 500 jokes in it.
Really?
500.
500.
So you really do write jokes?
Yes.
How much is it? $14.95. I said, well, how you selling it so cheap? I said, cause all my friends are cheap. You know, so. But it said, your mama, nothing dirty in there. You can tell them in church, you know. Say, your mama is so dumb till she put a quarter in each ear and thought she was listening to 50 Cent.
And how can we close out with anything better than 50 cents?
Chick,
Oh,
chick.
Chica, that's amazing.
That was beautiful.
Absolutely amazing.
Well, thank you so much.
Amazing. Can you two harmonize together, or would you want to do something together, or you want to put a song
I
together?
think all three of us, if we went like this. Would you like to drive in my beautiful balloon?
I'm through.
Way up in the air in my beautiful balloon. We can fly across the sky together, you and I. For we can fly. We're gonna fly.
We'll fly. We'll be right
Believe
back.
you can
Vegas
fly.
Live
We'll be
with
back.
Ninon. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Incredible interview, amazing man.
And you can go to
Fifth
Tyrone.
Dimensions.
Yes, you can go to Tyrone Fox on Facebook to
Yeah,
take a look at my
Tyrone
work.
Fox as well. He's my good friend, isn't he amazing? Now we got another friend. LaMonte is now my friend.
that's
Thank
right.
you for watching. Take care.
Our family.
There you go.
There is a weapon of mass destruction, and it's easy to find. Just look in the mirror, because it's us, mankind.
Ceasefire, say it loud enough. Ceasefire, can't say it enough. Just 2 words, ceasefire, can mean so much. 2 words can bring wars to a halt. Who's to blame? We're all at fault. No one's born with a gun in hand. What happens when we become woman and man? Without greed and prejudice, we're born. It's the reason so many lives are torn. There's a fate for hate, it's not heaven's gate. That's the message, let's get it straight. Words can hurt as much as a wound, but God's word can lift spirits to the moon. Ceasefire, lay your weapons down, free all the hands that we bound. Let's try negotiations, oh, not eliminations. Wars bring death and destruction, with peace and freedom comes construction. Ooh, let's have welfare and not warfare. No, no. Stop using religion as an excuse. Stop using it for all the abuse.
It's not complicated. What is it about peace that you don't understand? It's coming down to the wire. So before it's too late, ceasefire, ceasefire, ceasefire.